10:30 a.m. here on ITV1.
Okay, it's just gone 6:20 this Tuesday morning now when Katie Holmes filed for divorce from Tom Cruise after 5 years of marriage last week. Most of Hollywood was left a little shell-shocked.
Yeah, rumours grew of a bit of feud developing between the couple over who would get custody of their daughter Suri, and we've seen it played out in all the papers, haven't we? But they've surprised us all again by apparently reaching a quick divorce settlement without any involvement from the courts. Louisa is in New York to tell us the latest. It looks like they've wrapped this up between themselves then.
It does, Kate. I think basically there have been some very hard-working lawyers working furiously behind the scenes here in New York and in LA over the last couple of weeks. It is less than a fortnight since Katie Holmes filed for divorce, and now just like that, apparently it's all been sorted out. Now the details of this divorce settlement are being kept very private by the lawyers. All we have is this brief statement from Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise, which does kind of hint that there may still be differences between them over their religious beliefs. But now that this is happening out of court in private, we may never know the truth behind all those rumours. Just 2 weeks ago, it looked as though Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes were heading for one of the most bitter and sensational divorces in celebrity history, with allegations and speculation making daily headlines on both sides of the Atlantic. But while the newspapers were hoping for a public showdown, it seems Mr. and Mrs. Cruise were busy settling in private. If a deal hadn't been reached, the case could have ended up here at New York Supreme Court as early as next week, and that could have meant Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes both being forced to attend in person, something they apparently wanted to avoid. Very few details of the divorce settlement have been released, but a joint statement from the couple, which talks about respecting each other's beliefs, hints at possible disagreements between them over Scientology. It says their priority is working together in their daughter's best interests, thought to be in custody for Katie and visitation rights for Tom. But while Tom Cruise lives in LA, Katie and Suri are expected to stay here in New York, where they've been living in a 3-bed apartment in this luxury building in the Chelsea neighbourhood. Katie begins shooting a new movie next month, ironically about a single woman raising her child alone.
OK, yeah, thanks very much indeed, Louise. Let's cross live to Los Angeles now and chat to celebrity Hollywood lawyer Debra Opri. Hello to you once again, Debra. So were you surprised that this divorce went through so quickly?
I was surprised that it was settled in 2 weeks. I'm not surprised that it settled. I do know, as any attorney in divorce deals with, the parties don't want to go to court. They both won, however. Katie won because she has primary physical custody of her daughter, and it seems to me that she will be raising her daughter the way she sees fit. And for all intents and purposes, Tom got what he wanted. He kept it out of press. He saves his screen star, legendary, wonderful personality. And Scientology won too, because it was not probably going to be dragged through the halls of the courthouse after all.
Because you've dealt with many celebrity divorces before. I mean, have you ever known one to be settled in such a speedy manner in this way? Because it felt very clear-cut, didn't it? Newspapers full of headlines from Katie's side, lots of stories, you know, sources close to her quoted, and then suddenly all sorted out.
Cases settle like this all the time, not as quickly. I've never seen one settled this quickly. Sometimes divorces are settled before they file. The parties sit down and say, well, we're getting divorced, let's get a settlement, and then we'll file it with a petition. But in this instance, I do believe that Katie had her strategies in place and they worked for her. She got out of LA, she went to New York where they both had a residence, and she kept her daughter there, enrolled her in a Catholic school, and she had the help guidance of her father, his expertise, and those around him, including a prenup specialist. So Tom had to know going in she was going to challenge the prenup as to potentially the custody issues and her right to raise the child as she saw fit. Tom, on the other hand, probably won because perhaps Katie did walk out of that marriage with what she came into it with financially.
Just very quickly, Debra, is this the last we've heard of Tom and Katie and their relationship, this divorce?
I think so. I think you'll see the writing on the wall with the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. You'll see who won out in the end if and when we see Tom having or not having a role in the child's life.
Thank you, Debra.
Thank you very much indeed.